Welcome back to my channel StarWire Daily. Please share and subscribe and press the bell icon for new updates. It's 2015. Johnny Depp is standing at the crossroads of his career. The man who gave us Jack Sparrow, who made piracy cool again, who turned a theme park ride into a billion-dollar empire, is desperately searching for his next big thing. Little did anyone know he was about to make one of the most spectacular miscalculations in Hollywood history. What if I told you that Johnny Depp's biggest flop of 2015 was actually supposed to be his ticket out of the Pirates franchise? That this forgotten disaster was meant to launch an entirely new series of films that would cement his legacy for another decade. Welcome back to StarWire Daily, where Hollywood's biggest secrets come to light. Today, we're diving deep into the story of Mordecai, the film that was supposed to save Johnny Depp's career, but instead nearly destroyed it. To understand just how catastrophic this failure was, we need to rewind to 2014. Johnny Depp wasn't just any actor, he was a phenomenon. For over a decade, he'd been riding the waves of pirate success, literally, becoming one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood. But behind the scenes, cracks were starting to show. The fifth Pirates film was still years away, and Disney was getting nervous about their golden goose. Depp's personal life was becoming increasingly erratic. Stories of his excessive spending, his island purchases, his wine collection that costs more than most people's houses, it was all starting to paint a picture of an actor spiraling out of control. But Depp had a plan. He'd found his salvation in the most unlikely place, a series of British comedy novels about an art dealer turned reluctant spy named Charlie Mordecai. Think James Bond meets Austin Powers, with a dash of that quirky Depp magic that had made Jack Sparrow iconic. The pitch was irresistible. Here was a character that could showcase everything that made Johnny Depp special: his gift for accents, his love of eccentric costumes, his ability to find humanity in the most absurd characters. Plus, it came with built-in franchise potential. There were 8 Mordecai novels, which meant 8 potential films. 8 chances to prove that Johnny Depp was more than just a pirate. Lionsgate was immediately on board. They saw dollar signs. They saw a new franchise that could rival Pirates. In terms of box office success, they saw Johnny Depp at his most charming, most charismatic, most bankable. But here's where the story takes its first dark turn. From the very beginning, Mordecai was plagued by creative differences. Director David Koepp, known for his work on Jurassic Park and Spider-Man, had a specific vision for the film. He wanted it grounded, sophisticated, with just enough of Depp's eccentricity to keep it interesting. Depp, however, had other ideas. Sources close to the production tell a different story than what the public saw. They describe a Johnny Depp who was fully committed to the character, perhaps too committed. He'd spent months perfecting Mordecai's ridiculous mustache, his affected British accent, his pompous mannerisms. He'd created an entire backstory for the character that went far beyond what was written in the script. But something was off. The charm that had made Jack Sparrow lovable was somehow missing from Mordecai. Where Jack was roguish and endearing, Mordecai came across as pretentious and annoying. Where Jack had heart beneath his madness, Mordecai seemed to have nothing but superficial quirks. The warning signs were there during production. Test screenings were brutal. Audiences couldn't connect with the character. They found him insufferable rather than charming. The comedy that worked so well on the page fell flat on screen. Even Depp's co-stars, including Gwyneth Paltrow and Ewan McGregor, seemed uncomfortable in their roles. But Lionsgate had invested too much to back out now. They'd already committed to marketing Mordecai as the launch of a new franchise. They'd signed deals for potential sequels. They'd bet their reputation on Johnny Depp's ability to create another iconic character. The film's budget ballooned to $60 million. Significant investment for what was supposed to be a mid-budget comedy. Every dollar spent felt like another franchise. It seemed to call into question everything that had made Johnny Depp special in the first place. Perhaps the most painful aspect of the Mordecai story is how it highlighted the narrow line between genius and disaster in Hollywood. The same qualities that made Jack Sparrow iconic, the eccentric mannerisms, the affected speech patterns, the commitment to character above all else, made Charlie Mordecai insufferable. From a business perspective, Mordecai represents everything wrong with modern franchise thinking. The assumption that any character, no matter how poorly conceived, can become the center of a multi-film series if you just throw enough money at it. The belief that star power alone can overcome fundamental storytelling problems, Lionsgate learned. An expensive lesson about the difference between quirky and annoying, between eccentric and insufferable. They discovered that audiences are far more sophisticated than Hollywood often gives them credit for. They can sense when charm is manufactured rather than genuine. But perhaps most importantly, Mordecai showed that even the most talented actors can't save a project that's fundamentally misconceived. Johnny Depp gave his all to the role, perhaps too much of his all. But no amount of commitment could overcome the basic problems with the character and story. Today, nearly a decade later, Mordecai feels like a cautionary tale about the dangers of trying to recapture magic through formula. It's a reminder that true movie charisma can't be manufactured or replicated. It either exists or it doesn't. Johnny Depp's career has had its ups and downs since 2015, but he's never quite recaptured the effortless charm that made Jack Sparrow a global phenomenon. Whether Mordecai's failure was a cause or a symptom of larger problems is a question that may never be fully answered. What we do know is that in the ruthless mathematics of Hollywood success, Mordecai stands as one of the most expensive lessons ever learned about the fragility of stardom and the unpredictability of audience taste. The story of Mordecai is ultimately a human story about ambition, failure, and the cruel unpredictability of art and commerce. It's about a talented artist who took a risk that didn't pay off, and how that failure rippled through his career and his life in ways that no one could have predicted. In the end, maybe that's what makes Mordecai worth remembering, not as a punchline, but as a reminder that in Hollywood, as in life, there are no guarantees. Even pirates can sink. What do you think? Was Mordecai really as bad as everyone says, or was it just misunderstood? Could Johnny Depp have found his way back to the top if this film had succeeded? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed diving deep into Hollywood's greatest what-ifs and career-defining moments, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We've got so many more incredible stories to uncover together, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Until next time, this is StarWire Daily, where Hollywood secrets never stay buried for long.